Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday after the long weekend in Edmonton, and I'm going to talk to you today about what's been going on in Edmonton's real estate market for the week of May 23rd. So, what happened this last 7 days? Now, we're looking at things in Edmonton that are single-family homes in this update. And if you have any questions, please comment. If you are catching me live, I will answer your questions live. However, if I'm getting this afterwards, I will make sure to check the comments and respond to you afterwards. So, in regards to the Edmonton real estate market, what is going on in Edmonton's real estate market? Definitely, we are seeing a little bit of a slowdown compared to last year still. However, last year at this time, we started to see a slowdown as well. Now, typically, the market continues to stay pretty busy. And because we've had a slower start this year, I do think that the market will continue. That's just my guess in the next 4 weeks. But it's very crucial and critical that if you are listing your house or selling your house, it's got to be priced right. Buyers still have an opportunity right now as well because there's not a ton on the market. And so that's what we're going to talk about right now. So currently right now there are 2,942 listings. So we're seeing a little bit more listings come on the market than we did last week. And that's an Edmonton single family house market. If you look at St. Albert, pretty much the same. Sherwood Park slightly higher, and Spruce Grove basically the same. So the inventory level is staying the same. And what does that mean? Just because you have new listings doesn't mean things aren't moving. So it means that things have gone pending. So let's take a look at the pending sales. So if you take a look at the pending sales in Edmonton this last week, we actually had quite a few listings go pending, basically double compared to what it was the week before. St. Albert also doubled, and Sherwood Park basically tripled. So I'm not sure if that's even, Seth, did you do that correctly? The pending sales, I'm almost double guessing. Like Seth helped me do the numbers this morning, but it's quite a substantial difference from 1 week to the next. And I mean, everyone is trying to move before summer is kind of in session so they can have a summer house or not. They have plans for the summer and they want to be able to know when they're needing to come back and get settled in before school starts. So I'm just going to double check these numbers for single family in Edmonton that are pending. And that means deals that have gone pending in the last week. So nope, that's the last 7 days is actually 219. Sorry, so these numbers were wrong, Seth. He didn't put the last 7 days. He just put all pending deals in Edmonton. So let's take a change of that. So in single family home market, the last 7 days, 219 properties went pending versus the 234. And then in St. Albert, let's take a quick look at St. Albert. Pending deals there, 24 versus 20. And in Sherwood Park, we have 26 versus the 15. So it is stronger. And in Spruce Grove, let's take a look there. They're more affordable in the west end, like west of the city, 13 versus the 14. So pretty much the same. In the last 7 days for sold, so let's take a look at that number. That means any deals that were pending that have gotten conditions removed. We see a little less sales in terms of firm deals in Edmonton, St. Albert, Sherwood Park, and Spruce Grove from the week before. So this is actually quite typical. At the end of the month of May, things start to get quieter. There are still deals happening, obviously, but just not as many as there was 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks prior. Now, if you take a look at last year, Edmonton compared to last year, 329 versus 228 in this exact same week. So getting a lot closer. St. Albert, not that close. Sherwood Park, very similar. And Spruce Grove, also very similar. So the state of the market right now is definitely very much a balanced market because the inventory is low, just under 3,000. It is rising. When you start to see rising inventory, it means that things aren't moving as much. However, because the inventory is so low, it's still to the seller's advantage because there's still less competition. For buyers, you still have choice, but you have to also understand as long as you and the sellers have moved your headspace from last year to this year. So some buyers we're finding are thinking maybe it's 4 years ago before pandemic, we can get a crazy price. And then other sellers are thinking they can get last year's pricing, not going to happen. We're seeing 8 to 10% difference. It's been consistent for the last 3 months that things that it sold last year at this time are selling for 8% less. Keep in mind the interest rates are quite a bit higher than they were last year at this time, basically double. And right now I know that you can get interest rates of like 4.34. So if you're thinking about purchasing a home in Edmonton, Edmonton's still affordable. And I want to talk about that People say, I'm going to move over here because Edmonton is affordable. Okay, so it is, but there's a reason. The market doesn't increase like Toronto. So in Toronto and Vancouver, if you hold on to a property, condo specifically, even single family, that value will increase over time. When it comes to Edmonton, the reason it's affordable is we don't see the increase in equity over time as quickly. Our normal equity growth is about 1% to 2% a year. So if you're holding on to this property, hoping next year you'll sell it for more, it's likely not going to happen. High chance of it not happening. Our neighbors to south in Calgary have a very strong market, and they follow kind of Vancouver and Toronto trends just because they're a bigger city. So when you're looking at moving to Edmonton and you're thinking that affordability is really great, it's true. Just understand the equity is a very different story when it comes to equity growth. As long as you buy the right kind of property, and that's why we talk about single family homes in this market, because single family homes have the ability to grow, including those abilities to grow if you have a lower price point home in the 350 to 450, you do some renovations, you can build equity more than the 1% to 2%. But in general, if you do nothing, it's likely that our new build world is also affecting the resale market. They're watching the resale market saying, oh, there's nothing to buy. We're going to increase our prices. So they'll only be able to do that for so long. And will be interesting to see what this next week holds, because next week's the end of May. So June should be even less sales. I'm curious to see if our inventory level is probably going to continue to go up. So we're probably going to see our inventory level go over to 3,000 single family homes available in Edmonton in the next few weeks, and then maybe even go up to 4,000 by the fall, winter time. So again, if you're looking to sell, you have less competition now than you will in the fall. So we will talk to you